Now up to this point, we've been putting all of our dimensions in as finished dimensions. That is, dimensions that don't have seam allowances included. Mathless has been calculating all of the seam allowances for us. I think that's one of the big benefits of this software, but if you really would prefer to enter unfinished dimensions, adding the seam allowances yourself, you can do that. All you have to do is come up here and click the Show Hide Defaults button in the navigation sidebar. This will open a panel that contains all kinds of settings to modulate how Mathless is actually calculating all of the quilt math. The setting we're interested in is changing the piece dimension type from finished to unfinished. Now if I recalculated, all of these pieces that we entered would be assumed as unfinished dimensions and Mathless would not be adding seam allowances to them. Now there's a lot of information in this panel, most of which probably isn't going to make much sense to you at this point in time. To understand what all of these settings are, what they do, and why you might want to change them, let's look at the My Defaults page. On this page, you can set all of these same settings, but when you change the settings here, they're going to change them for your user account as a whole. It also lists an explanation of what each of these settings is, what it does to your quilt pattern, and how it might affect the quilt math that you're going to get out of Mathless. You can read through all of these settings here and decide which ones are right for you. But once you adjust the settings on this page, every time you create a new pattern, the settings that you've chosen will be copied over to that new pattern, so you always get exactly what you want. If you ever want to change them just for a specific pattern rather than for all of the new patterns going forward, all you have to do is come up and adjust those settings in the defaults for that individual pattern. Changes made here will only affect the current pattern that's shown on the page.